Hello students, welcome to the class 6 of science. Here we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 4, sorting materials into group. Now, first of all, we must know a simple question that why we need to do this. हमें इन सब की क्यों ज़रूरत पड़ती है? Why we need this? We need this for the following reasons. Grouping. Why grouping? Because sorting is also known as grouping in a non-formal way. Grouping helps us in the following ways. What are those? Let us start. The number one is to locate the things easily. You know what? By grouping you can locate them very easily. Now what could be the next point? Yes, the next point will be to locate things. You have gone to supermarket also, you can see separate sections for everything. Now the second point is differentiate. Differentiate means we can differentiate things from other things, as we can keep vegetables and fruits in a different shelf of supermarket. Okay, the third thing is less confusing. Sorting makes less confusing. The humans become less confusing with sorting materials. Okay, now let us move ahead. I'm just rubbing this to have a new topic of this chapter. After understanding the need of sorting and grouping, let us move to the next topic. The next topic is classification. Now what is classification? Is it different from sorting? No student, classification is a technical term, is a formal term for sorting or grouping. The question arises, what is the definition of classification? Just a simple definition that the process of grouping things. What? The process of grouping things in a way that we can arrange them according to their similarities and dissimilarities. This is known as similarities and dissimilarities. This is known as classification. Okay, classification is just sorting, and even when you will get senior, you will come to know the concepts and basic of classification in biology subject. Now this also helps to locate things easily. Now what will be the second point? It helps to just sort out materials so that you can find it more easier to arrange them, and classification helps you to study them easily. Yes, already classified things are easy to study. As you can see, your chapters and your subject books are classified also. Now locate easily means it saves time and our energy. Now it saves our time and our energy, so classification is a very helping thing, phenomenon. Next, you can see these are the points where you can find that how classification helps us. Again students, this is your chapter number 4. You should learn it. It's a very easy and scoring lesson. Okay, after understanding the concept of classification, I hope you have noted it down. Okay, now listen. Again, I'm starting a new subtopic of the chapter. The new subtopic of the chapter is, okay, let us start with the topic, the properties of materials. Okay, but first of all we must know what are the materials. Materials, in your book, materials are divided. How they are divided? They are divided into two ways. One is natural, and the second one is man-made. We can also call it artificial, but in your book it is man-made written. Natural, obtained from nature, and man-made, processed and formed by human beings. Okay, now I'm making a smiley. Just you have to think what are natural things and what are human made things. Okay, so do you remember what are natural things and what are man made things? I hope you all know the answers. Like plastic is man made and milk is a natural thing. Okay, let us move ahead. Now, what will be the next topic? The next topic is the properties of material. Properties means the physical behavior, the chemical behavior of materials. Now, properties of material are the basis of classification, students. Now, first of all, we have to take care what are the appearance, because a human first of all watches the appearance. Appearance means how they look, how they appear to you, how they look to you, how they appear to you, how they look to you. Number second, that is not a second part, but actually it comes under the appearance property that we call it luster, L-U-S-T-R-E, that is shining. All objects do not shine. It is not compulsory that every object shines, but the jewelry shines. You have seen jewelry. Your mom used to wear the jewelries. Okay, students, now I am just expanding the first topic, that is appearance, so that you can have much more idea what are appearance. See, some look bright and some look dull. Some look brighter and some look dull. Now, if you know the meaning of brighter and the dull, you may come to know that the luster is also another synonym of shine. Now, if you see the wood, the original wood, it is dull in appearance, it does not shine, but the gold used to shine, the diamond used to shine, the jewelry used to shine, the medals you take on your annual function, they used to shine. Okay, now this is the appearance. Second property after the appearance will be, okay, now what will be the second property? It could be the third in a row. Okay, it is hardness. Now you know the hardness. Hardness is like when you have seen a stone and even a cotton at the same time. You could find that stone is a hard substance, is a hard thing. The pillow of your house, the cushion of your house are soft. But the iron, this board, see this board is hard. This is not soft as your cushion and pillows. So these are also the property which can use to classify things. Okay. Now the fourth property, students. The fourth property of your chapter is the solubility. This is not a new word for you, solubility. Solubility means, if you are aware already, things which can get dissolved or which can dissolve in a liquid or in a water. Things which can dissolve is soluble, or which cannot dissolve is called insoluble. Insoluble. Okay, students, so there are two types of things, soluble and insoluble. Let's have a look in a rough diagram. It is sugar plus water. Sugar plus water, and in another beaker, another glass, if I put sand plus water. What is sand plus water? This will dissolve and the sand will not dissolve. Yes, students, sand will not dissolve. We call it insoluble. Now you have to write two more examples, three more examples of soluble and insoluble things. I know you are smart enough, you can write all the examples of soluble and insolubles by practicing. Okay, let us move to the next topic. Next topic is also easy. Now, if you see, I'm talking about a concept in your book, that is water. Water is known as universal solvent. Universal solvent. Why? Why we call it universal solvent? Because it dissolves most of the substances. It dissolves most of the substances. That's why we call it universal solvent. You should not get confused. You must reply that what is universal solvent? That is water. Next property. Fifth, density. Density. Now what is density? If I explain you according to class 6, density is the compactness. How things are compactly packed. How things are having their mass within less area, within less volume. Okay. Now consider three things: wood, iron, and sponge. See, if I make a diagram, rough diagram: wood, iron, and sponge. Okay. Now you can find that sponge, even having the larger volume or the larger area, will have low mass content, but the iron in very small size can have large mass. Yes, that's why iron has large density, high density. Even as compared to wood, iron has high density. Now it is, I'm writing very high in density, very compactly packed. Now let's see if it is a water and you throw a coin in the water. What you throw? You throw a coin in the water. When you throw a coin in the water, it will just sink in the water. It will not float. But if you put a leaf in the water, it will float. Why? Because the density of the leaf is very low, very as compared to stone. Okay, students. Now I think you will know density. We will remember density. Okay, the next topic of after density is, the next topic is after density is, I think you are noticing, no? Yes, the next topic is transparency. Yes, students, transparency. It's a very easy topic. You are already aware in the previous classes. There are three types of things depending on the transparency properties, transparency phenomena. Number one is opaque. Number two is transparent, and number three is translucent. Now, what are these? Opaque, in which no light can pass, you cannot see through it. Example, your wall. Transparent, like your specs, like the glasses of your specs, you can see here and there, from here to there, okay, via it. Translucent, you can see but you cannot see clearly, like the colored windows of your colored window glasses of your houses. You can see but you cannot see completely. Okay, which allows the light to pass are known as transparent, which do not are opaque, and which allow partially are called translucent. Okay, students, so you should not get confused. Opaque, transparent, and translucent. These is also the property which will be used to classify materials. Yes, students. What is the next property? The next property is magnetic behavior or the magnetic property. I think you all have played with the magnet. The magnet is a substance which attracts the selective things, and the things which are attracted by the magnet are known as magnetic materials or magnetic substances. So from your childhood you are aware that what are the things which will be attracted by a magnet, or the things which a magnet can attract. We call them magnetic property holder substance, like iron, etc. Now it's your homework to find it out, what are the things which a magnet can attract. Okay, students, after the magnet, it's the time to understand that the things are just under your control. You are very much intelligent and you know all the things. Okay, this is a very easy chapter. Let us move to the next topic. After magnetic behavior and property, the next topic is the conduction of heat. Yes, conduction of heat. So what are the conduction of heat means? The conduction of heat means there are two types of conductors: good conductors, second is bad conductors. Okay, through which heat can pass, along with heat can pass, are known as good conductors, and to which, via which heat cannot pass, is called bad conductors. Good conductors are, all the metals are good conductors, like utensils which you use to make food in them. Okay, now what are bad conductors? Bad conductors are the handles of the utensils. For to explain you, handles of the utensils are made up of plastic or wood, so that your mom or you, while making food, do not get burnt or do not get a very heat on your hands. Okay, the cables of the wire are also like this, but cables of the wire, handles, the wood, plastic, wood, etc. are the non-conductors of heat. Now second is conduction, another is conduction of electricity. For the electricity, it is compulsory to have free charge to move. Okay, it is of two types. Number one, things which passes the current, from which the current can get pass, we call it, what we call it, students? We call it conductors. Okay, CONDUCTOR, conductors. And after conductors, there are opposite, the things which do not allow current to pass are known as insulators. Yes, students, insulators is a synonym of bad conductor of electricity. Insulators. Now you should know what are conductors and insulators. Metals are the conductors, while the things like wood, plastic, rubber, okay, are the insulators. You can find out more and more names. Okay, student, these are the properties and these are the things. I hope you will note it down clearly, and will try to find out the question answers of this chapter from your book by your own, and after this I will help you. Thanks for joining me. Thank you very much. Keep reading. Stay safe. Thank you.